KPM.
Hi, Shafika. Do you want to start first or should I?
You first?
Nah, ladies first.
Okay.
All right,
then
let's go.
I will start the first move here. Your
Nice. I think I'll plant it here.
turn. Plant it there. Wow.
Yeah.
I think I should go here. Okay.
That's so obvious. Huh. Here you go.
Oh no. Ugh. Okay, where should I put mine, huh?
I'm going to win.
I think I should go
I'm
here.
going to win. Oh no. Looks like I have to change my strategy.
Yes.
Okay, here.
Yes, I got it. Mr. Q, I win.
What? Oh no, you got 3 in the line?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yay, me!
A special limited edition flower just for you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Q. Welcome back to Didik TV KPM. Today we are learning for slot Tahap 2 with our teacher just now, as you can see. But before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Shafika Farahin Razali and you'll be with me for the whole 1 hour today to learn Science DLP Year 6. Alright, for today's topic, we'll let our own teacher introduce himself first. Hello, Mr. Q.
Hi, Shafika.
How are you?
I'm good today. How are you?
I'm great, and also with us here in the studio is our sign language interpreter, teacher Zaharatul Azma Muhammad Kamal from SK Taman Bungaraya 1 Selangor. Thank you, teacher, for being with us here today. Hello, Assalamualaikum. As always, we'll always have our pupils together with us to learn together. Let's have them from the same school as Mr. Q from SK Kampung Lindungan. Let's have them here in the studio. Hello, everyone. Hi. All right, Mr. Q, can you please introduce them one by one?
Yes. First, we have Akif Anaki. Akif Anaki, wave your hand. Hi.
Hi, Akif.
Okay, and then we have Zarik Zakwan. Hi, Zarik.
Hi, Zarif.
And the only lady here, Alisa Kaisara.
Wow, our only flower today, Alisa. Hi.
And finally, Adam Firdaus.
Hello, Adam. All right, friends, thanks for being with us here today to learn together. All right, Mr. Q, for today's topic, what is it?
Wait, do you still remember about the gimmick just now?
Oh, I do. But what does it have to do anything with what we're going to learn today?
So today we are going to learn about competition among plants.
Okay.
Besides that, we are also going to explain, students will be able to explain with example, the interaction between plants such as symbiosis. And symbiosis consists of parasitism and also commensalism.
All right, Mr. Q. Now, what is the learning outcomes and objectives for today?
All right, so for today, at the end of this session, pupils will be able to describe the factors that affects the competition between plants. And they will also be able to explain through examples the type of interaction among plants such as symbiosis. Symbiosis consists of commensalism and also parasitism.
Wow, okay. Mr. Q, please proceed.
Alright, so for the factors that affect competition between plants, there are altogether 4 of them. The first one is space, the second one is water, the third one is sunlight, and finally nutrient. Okay, so I'll go straight to the point, alright? For space. Okay, look at this picture. Okay, this picture shows, what do you see? What do you see?
The first thing I saw is a fruit.
You see a fruit. What fruit is that?
It's a durian, Mr. Q.
Okay, and then beside the durian, there's a lot of trees planted there, right?
Right.
Did you realize that they are planted far from each other?
Yes, like there's a fixed amount of space in between them.
Yes, that's right. Because it is important to reduce competition among the plants. Okay, a few years back, when I went to Mardi. Mardi is the Malaysian Agriculture Research and Development Institute for a tour, and we came across these Musang King seedlings. So my dad was really excited because this is one of the premium fruit of Malaysia, right?
Right.
So he was thinking, maybe in 10 years' time, we will be able to eat our own Musang King. So he approached the seller and he said, I want 3 of them, 3 of the seedlings.
Wow.
So the seller asked my dad, how much space do you have at home? Then I was curious. So I asked him, why do we need a lot of space? Oh, each Musang King tree requires at least 9 meters of space. Yes, so which means if this plant is here, the next plant must be 9 meters away from it.
9 meters, that's a big space.
That's how you get the best fruit in the world.
Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of competition.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, all right, Mr. Q, next.
Moving on, this is water. The water, as we all know, water is the basic need of all living things. It is important for the plants, animals, and also humans. So, competition will definitely occur between plants when water is finite, especially when it is during the drought season. A drought season where there's no more water, then plants will definitely compete for water. They look for water underground. So big trees like the one on the right, you can see from the picture, it has a very complex root system. This complex root system enables these big trees to look for water underground.
Right.
Some trees as old as 1,000 years old, their tree barks will be really, really huge and far away from each other. So there will be no trees, smaller trees near it, because they will definitely lose out in this competition for water.
Right, okay.
Okay, next is sunlight. So Shafika, if you look at this picture, what do you see?
I see trees, but I also see different heights of trees.
Yes, so this is the forest or the jungle. So in the jungle, you will usually see trees that are really, really high up, or it's really stunted, because the trees that are really high up, they usually compete for sunlight. They'll race to the top, see who can get more sunlight. And then those trees which are stunted, they gave up. They adapt to the surrounding and decided to, not worth my time. So they just
stick to the floors.
Stick to the ground. So this is about competition for sunlight.
All right.
Next we have, finally, is about nutrient. Nutrient is readily available in the ground, or in the soil, actually in small amount. Actually, so plants usually plants will have to hunt for it. But with the help of fertilizers, when humans provide fertilizers to these plants, the plants will actually grow better. Why? Because they do not need to hunt for the fertilizers, right? For the nutrients. So because all the nutrients are readily available in abundance. So not only that, the nutrients, the fertilizers will help to alter the quality of the soil, making it more easier to retain water. So there will be more water trapped inside the soil for a longer period of time, so the plants can drink more. And also the airflow underneath in the ground will be better.
That's interesting facts there.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Q, please proceed.
All right. So it looks like I've gone through the 4 factors that affects plants, competition between plants. So now I would like all my students, my pupils, to list down the 4 factors that affects competition among their plants.
Okay.
For those who are at home, you can try that too.
Yes, who wants to try first? Pupils online, raise up your hands, please.
Okay, we have Alisa.
Okay, Alisa.
Okay, Alisa, can you please show us your answer? I think it's written SPACE, right? So SPACE is space. Okay, thank you, Alisa.
Wow, good job, Alisa. Perhaps how many marks or stars you want to give to Alisa for that
We will give
answer?
them 3 stars.
3 stars. Okay, good job, Alisa.
Okay, next we will. Who wants to try next? Put up your hand.
Raise up your hand, please.
Oh, Zari.
Okay.
Mr. Q, the answer is water.
Ah, yes. Good try, Zarik. Good try, water. Okay, good. Who's next? Who wants to put, raise their hands?
Raise your hands up, please. Okay.
All right, Adam, here we go.
Mr. Q, the answer is sunlight.
Sunlight. Very good. Looks like he's paying attention during class.
Good job.
Okay, last of all, I think we only have Afiq, Anaki, Akif.
Okay, Akif, it's your turn now.
Mr. Q, the answer is nutrient.
Nutrients.
Yes. Okay. Looks like all of them have answered the questions. Let's look at the answers. See whether they got it all correct. Space, water, sunlight, and nutrient.
Wow, they got it perfect and on point,
Yes.
Mr. Q.
So all of them deserve 3 stars.
3 stars for each of you. All right, Mr. Q. I hope pupils at home, you got that right as well, okay? We'll be right back after this break, Mr. Q. And I'll see you on Didik TV KPM. Welcome back to Didik TV KPM, and our slot today is Tahap 2 with our subject, which is Science DLP Year 6. And today, friends, for this segment, we've known that the competition has 4, and our topic is interaction among plants. So for this segment, it's plants compete for space and water. For that very reason, let's have Mr. Q start off the segment.
Okay. Thank you, Shafiqah.
Sure.
So, in this segment, we are going to have 2 activities. The first activity is going to be about competition for space, which is this experiment. And then we have competition for water. Okay. So, for activity 1, okay, this is for the first activity, you need one small sized flower pot and one big sized flower pot as shown in this, shown here. Okay, and then we have 15 beans, 15 green beans planted inside here, and also 15 green beans planted inside here as well.
Okay.
And what we need to do daily is to sprinkle with water.
Water, right.
Yeah, so we sprinkle with water.
Water is one of the 4 key for plants, right?
Yes.
Mr. Q?
Yes, it is. And after that, we need to monitor the height of the plants for consecutive 3 weeks. Okay, so this is the result after 3 weeks. So Shafiqah,
Right.
what do you think is the difference between these 2 plants from pot A from pot B?
The difference from what I can see, they're almost similar, Mr. Q, but I'm guessing for the plant on the left side, it's going towards one side. For this is more scattered out. Is that right, Mr. Q?
Not really.
Not really. I'm wrong.
Never mind. But if I put it all together like that, it is clearly shown that this is taller.
Oh, it's taller.
Yes. So the plants in pot B, it's much. Is it A or B? Yeah, it's. Oh, sorry. It's B. Is much higher, taller compared to the one in A. There's a reason for it. Okay, but before that, I would like my students has also done this experiment at home. So when we are, as a science student, when they do experiment, they'll definitely face difficulties.
Right.
Okay, so I would like to ask Alisa.
Okay.
Alisa, you there, Alisa? Can you tell us what are the difficulties that you face while doing this experiment?
All right, Alisa.
Mr. Q, I find it hard to conduct this experiment after 2 weeks because all matter from after the small pots has already returned after 2 weeks.
Okay. Okay, what she is saying that, she's saying that her plants wilt after 2 weeks.
Wilt after 2
Yeah.
weeks.
Okay, especially the ones in the smaller pot. There's a reason for it because there's huge competition between all the plants because it is they have to be in a small space. The space is not enough. So the plants compete with each other and many of it died or wilted lah, we should say.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Q.
So after I've done this experiment, I've also collected some data. So let's have a look at this data collected for the first activity. So as you can see from the table shown in the slide, we have number of weeks and height of the plants. Okay, these are the two components that we are looking at. So number of weeks is actually the manipulated variable. So manipulated variable means that
It can have different ranges.
yes, no. It means that it is something that we can change. Something we can change. We can change the number of weeks, which is when we want to observe it. We want to observe on the first week, or the second week, or the third week. It's our choice. So that is called the manipulated variable. Means the person who does the experiment has the choice to do what to conduct the experiment as how he sees fit.
All right, Mr.
Okay,
Q.
and then the height of the plant is the responding variable. Okay, which is the result. So as you can see from this whiteboard here, okay, so this whiteboard is shown. We have the space and water. Okay, so the first graph, the first bar chart is about competition for space for plants within the plants. Okay, so as you can see, the weeks represent the manipulated variable,
Right.
and the height of the plants represent the responding variables. Okay, so based on the data that I have collected, it is shown that for the pot A, it's written there 5, right? Nat?
5, okay.
So it means it's 5 cm tall on the first week. And during the second week, it is 10 centimeter tall. And for the third week, it is 15 centimeter tall. Okay, that is for the plants from pot A. But it is not complete. I will need your help, Shafika.
Okay, I can see there isn't any bar for B.
Yes.
Plant B.
As you can see, there's two colors on the bar chart right now. You have
Right.
the A, which is blue color, and B, which is in red.
Okay.
Okay, could you please help me to fill in the blanks?
Of course, Mr. Q. Let me just
Okay.
go over there for a while. Okay, so that means
So let me read to you. All right. For the first week, the height of the plant is 7 cm.
7 cm. So I'll just put it right next to A.
Yes, 7 cm. Very good, Shafika. Let's move on to the next height, which is 15 cm on the second week.
15 cm on the second week. Okay, Mr. Q. You got that?
Okay. And last of all, we have 25 cm for the third week.
25 cm for the third week. All right, Mr. Q.
So from this bar chart, it is clearly shown that we can see the height, the growth of the plant.
Right.
It grows slowly but gradually up, right? But some, for the blue one, for the pot A, it
Yeah.
grows slower compared to pot B, right? So students, what can you conclude from this experiment?
Let's have a volunteer, please. Can you raise your hands up?
Okay, Alisa?
Okay, Alisa.
Conclusion is the plant compete for space.
Yes, she is right. The plants compete for space. That is why there's a difference in the height. So the one with more competition will definitely be shorter.
Right.
So Shafika, can you tell me which one has more competition, face more competition, pot A or pot B?
I think pot A.
Yes, you're right. So pot A is the one with less space.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thank you. Very good. Now let us move on to our next experiment. Shafika,
All right.
I need your help here.
Sure. Okay, I'll just go back there.
Okay.
Okay.
So the second one is about competition for water. So in this activity, we will need two same pots.
Okay.
And then inside we have the garden soil, and the difference is the number of plants. Okay. So during the start of the experiment, I placed 3 green bean seeds here, and then I placed 10 green bean seeds in flower pot B.
B, okay.
Okay, so I water it regularly every day, during the same time. And after 3 weeks, what we want to see the length of the roots after 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I took it out and have a look at it, I measure it, and then I put it back. So every week I'm doing the same thing for plants.
Right. Now, Mr. Q, let's do it here, shall
Yes. Can you pick one of the plants from pot B and I'll pick one from pot A?
we? Okay.
Okay, let us compare. Alright, let us compare the size of the roots.
Roots.
Yes, after 3 weeks.
Okay, pupils, let's take a look closely at these 2 plants. Let's see the difference here.
Okay, so this is from pot A, which have only 2 flowers, 2 green bean seedlings, and compared to the roots from pot
B, which has 10 seedlings, right?
Yes, so look at the roots. So Shafiqa,
Difference.
so can you tell which one has a longer root?
Yours, of course, on
Pot A.
pot A has
Yes.
longer roots.
Yes, and there's a reason for it too.
What's the reason, Mr. Q?
Because they compete for water. The ones in pot B have to compete for water, and therefore they are not able to grow healthily. Compared to the one in pot A, they do not need to compete for water because water is abundance for them. So it will grow healthily. Even the height, as you see, which one did you pick just now?
I picked this one.
Okay, even the height as well is different.
Right, you can see that's a big difference as well.
Yeah. So there's a big difference in the height as well. So it shows that plants compete for water.
Water.
So students, so as usual, my students also conducted this experiment at home, and they faced some difficulties. So let us hear from our students.
Okay,
So who wants to talk about it? Okay, Zarik Zakwan, could you share your opinion of what problem do you face during this experiment?
Mr. Q, I find it hard to conduct the experiment because I can control my time to water the plant.
You can or you can't?
Can't.
Can't. He can't control the time. Why? Because as a student, you have a lot of obligations.
Right.
Studying, right?
Yes, of course.
So a lot of studying. Then you have the religious studying, and then you have sports and all that.
Right.
So it's hard for him to be specific on the time he watered the plant every day. So because of that, there will be some days he will forgot. Let's say if there's too much homework or too many homeworks at home at school, or there's too much games he wants to play or something like that, so he might forget about the experiment that he's...
All right. Let's hope Zarik has some help at home to help him water his plants as well.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Q.
So now let us look at the data. So I've also collected data from the second for this experiment about competition for water.
All right.
So Shafiqa,
You need me over there. I'll
Yes,
go straight
exactly.
over there. Okay.
okay, as you can see, I've already plot out the findings for A,
Right.
which is 2 cm for week number 1, 5 cm for week number 2, and also 7 cm for week number 3. So this is for pot A. Can you do it for pot B, Oscar?
Okay.
So
All right.
for pot B, we have 3 cm for week 1
3 cm for week 1. Okay, got that.
and 7 cm for week 2.
7 for week 2, and the last one is
10 cm for
10
week 3.
cm for week 3. Okay,
There
Mr.
you
Q.
go. So there's a difference in the height as well, correct?
Yes.
Nat?
Yes.
So can you tell which one face more competition?
Mr. Q, observing from this, I think it's pot A again.
Pot A.
No, I'm wrong. Pupils, help me out here. I think it's pot B.
Pot B faces more competition.
Wait, I'm going to go right back to my first answer, pot A.
Yes, you are correct.
Yes.
All right. So
Mr. Q. Is that right?
yes, you are correct.
Okay.
So students, Zarik, can you help me to conclude what's our finding today?
Yes. From this experiment, we can conclude that plants compete for water.
Yes, plants compete for water. That is correct.
Alright, so that's about it for this segment where we focus on competition among plants, which is also an interaction involving space and also water pupils. Alright, we're going for a short break, but after this we've got more activities to do and as well as experiments. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back here on Did It TV KPM.
Okay.
Right, pupils, let's get back to class. But before that, Kak Syafiqah wants to ask you, do you know what this is? This is actually green beans that we're using as part of our experiment for today's lesson with Mr. Q. Mr. Q, today our topic is Science DLP, and for this segment we are testing out 2 out of the 4 competitions among plants, right?
Yes, correct. So this is today for this segment we are going to talk about we are going to do 2 activities.
Okay.
One is about competition for sunlight among plants, and also competition for nutrients among plants. Okay. So for the third activity. Okay, for third activity, what we need is a box, 2 boxes, and then we have actually 2 flower pots. Yeah, potted plants. That's with the same size. Okay, and then one of it will have 15 seedlings, and the other one will have 3 seedlings. So after doing the experiment, conducting this experiment for 3 weeks, and not to forget actually, we have to water the plant. But this one is a bit challenging.
Why?
Why? Because you cannot lift up the box actually. So when we start this experiment, so what we're going to do, we're going to use this syringe. So we have a bit of water here.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're going to suck up the water. Okay. And then using a tube.
Okay.
And looking inside. Okay, and then you're going to push the water in.
Oh, that's creative.
Yes.
For those of you who don't have tubes at home, perhaps they can use, Mr. Q, a straw maybe?
Yes, a straw also will do the trick.
Okay.
This is actually, I got it from this balloon, the balloon stick, you know?
Oh, right. Yeah, that's why it's long. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so after 3 weeks, this is the findings. So what we find out is the ones in, this is pot, this is pot A.
Okay.
Pot A has the growth of it, see the height of it is much
Taller.
Yes, taller compared to the ones in pot B. And there's a reason for it too.
Right.
Okay, the reason is because the plants in pot A, because this is a dark area, so the plants will want to compete for sunlight. So they want to achieve sunlight, if not they cannot make food. Because plants have to produce their own food through the process of photosynthesis. So it is a race. So see who can reach to the top the fastest.
I see.
Whereas for this, pot B, they don't feel the need to compete because they are in their comfortable
zone.
Yes, comfort zone. Whatever. You know? Okay, so that is the reason why this one, the one that faces fierce competition, grows taller.
Okay, alright.
So my students as well, they have done this experiment, but they have also faced some difficulties.
Oh.
So let us hear from one of our students.
Okay,
who would like to
is
share?
that?
Who would like to share? Okay, Adam.
Alright, Adam.
Mr. Q, my plants all wilted after 2 weeks.
His plants also withered after 2 weeks.
Oh,
Why is it, Adam?
That's so sad.
I think the box prevents sunlight from entering, so the plants got wilted.
Oh, he's saying that because it's a very dark box, so if you place it for a long period of time, it actually the plants will actually die.
I see.
It's actually not easy. As you can see, actually I have 3 seedlings in the beginning, and now I only have 2.
Yes.
Because one failed to live lah.
There's a lot of competition going on there.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the difficulties when doing this experiment about competition for sunlight.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Looking at our whiteboard here. Okay, so I've already done this experiment and I've collected some data. So let's look at the data from the slide first. Okay, so number of weeks and height of the plant. Okay, the number of weeks shows that it is a manipulated variable, which means that you have the power to change. You have the power to change the time that you want to observe. For example, you want to observe this plant from the first week, or the second week, or the third week. So you have the power to do that. So that is what the manipulated variable, what you can change.
Okay.
And the height of the plant is actually the result of this experiment. So as you can see, I've already transferred the data from this table onto this bar chart on the whiteboard. So Shafiqah, can you help me with it?
Of course. All right. So we are going to put the results for pot B.
Yes,
Okay.
because I've already done it for pot A, where in the first week it's a 5 cm.
All right. 5
And then, that's for pot,
that's for pot A.
5 cm. And then for the second week, it is 15 cm tall. And the
Okay.
third week, it is 25 cm tall. So now I need your help for pot B. So
Alright.
for the first week, it is 5 cm tall.
5 cm tall, the same as pot A.
Yes. And then we have 10 cm tall.
10 cm tall. Okay. All right, Mr. Q.
And then finally, we have 15 cm tall.
15 cm tall. There you go.
Okay, so from this bar chart, it is clearly shown that the ones in pot A, the plants in pot A, grew taller compared to the ones in pot B. Why do you think it is?
I
Shafiqah?
think because perhaps there are more seedlings in pot B compared to pot A. Or is it the other way around?
It is
Mr.
the
Q?
other way around.
The other way
So-
around.
So the pot A has more seedlings, therefore they have to compete for each other. They compete, they race to the top, see who gets the sunlight faster.
Oh, I see.
The survival instinct.
Oh, it's survival instinct as well as encouragement.
Yes.
There are more seeds, so they go up faster.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay, that's how I see it. All right, Mr.
Okay,
Q.
so that's the reason why it is taller, even though there's more seedlings.
Okay.
So students, can you conclude this experiment for us? Who wants to help? Okay, Adam. Thank you, Adam.
From this experiment, we can conclude that plants compete for sunlight.
Yes. Thank you, Adam. So from here we know that plants compete for sunlight. Okay, now we're going to move to the next experiment.
Oh, okay, Mr. Q.
Okay, the next, you can come over here now.
All right, I'll just go right back there.
Okay, so in this experiment, this is the 4th activity.
Okay.
So which is about competition for nutrient. Okay, so in this activity, what do we need is a slightly different flower pot from before. So it's longer.
Longer.
Yes. So in this experiment, what we're going to do is we're going to put 15 green bean seeds in each pot. But the difference is we need to separate it 5 cm apart. Okay, we plant it 5 cm apart. And then after that, one of it we are going to place this is called the fertilizer or the nutrient.
Okay.
Okay, so we put fertilizer on it and then mix it evenly. Okay, and then not to forget we have to water the plant regularly every day to make sure that this experiment works out properly. Yeah?
Right.
So I've done this experiment, and what do you think? Pot A or pot B has what's your observation actually?
I think from my observation,
Which is taller?
this This one is taller.
Yes, as you can see, these plants here are healthier compared to the ones in this pot.
Right.
Okay, so pot B is much healthier than pot A.
Okay.
Okay, the reason why do you think is it so? Because I have added something special. What is it?
Fertilizer.
Yes, the nutrients. So pot A doesn't, is it pot A? Pot B doesn't need to compete for nutrients. So they will just absorb everything.
Because there's so many nutrients in there.
Yes. So, but as for the ones in pot A, they have to compete for it.
Right.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Akif and Aki, could you please tell me what problems that you face while doing this experiment, Akif?
Mr. Q, I find it hard to conduct this experiment because some seeds grow and some do not grow.
Like I said,
okay.
like I said earlier from the previous experiment, some of it, for example, this experiment, I placed 3 seedlings in it, but end up only 2 survived. So it is the same for all the other experiments because it is a living thing. We can't predict which will actually turn out well, which is the good seed or which is the bad seed.
Bad seed.
Yeah, we couldn't know. So even though we planted 15 seeds, not every one of them will grow and become a seedling or a plant.
Yes, Mr. Quek, I totally agree because I did experiments like this before and not all the seeds will grow. Yes,
exactly.
Just a few.
So now I will need your... So wait, before that, let us look at the data first. So this is the data for activity 4. I've already plotted it on the bar chart as well as in the table. So I transferred the data from the table to the bar chart. So Shafiqah, could you help me with it?
As usual.
As usual,
Let's plot the data for pot B.
Yes, pot B.
Okay.
But before that, let me read out the readings for pot A that I've already placed it. Okay, for the first week it is 5 cm tall. The second week it is 14 cm tall. And for the third week it is 23 cm tall for pot A. Okay, now for pot B, could you please help me with it?
Alright, for pot B, the first week is 5 cm tall.
Okay.
For pot B, second week, it's 20 cm tall. And then for pot B, for the third week, is 30 cm tall.
30 cm tall.
Yes.
Okay. So, Shafiqah, what do you think? Can you tell me which pot faces higher competition?
According to this bar chart, I think pot A faces the more competition compared to pot B.
Yes, because it has to compete to find nutrients in the soil.
Right.
Very good, Shafiqah.
Thank you.
So now I need one of our students to conclude this experiment for us.
Okay.
So,
Who
Akif.
would like to try? Akif? All right.
Yes. Okay, there you go, Akif.
Mr. Q, from this experiment, we can conclude that plants compete for nutrients.
Yes, thank you, Akif. Yes, that is correct. Plants compete for nutrients.
All right. Thank you, Akif, for that answer. And perhaps, Mr. Q, for this segment, you can give a bit of a summary of what we've learned.
Okay, from this segment, what we learn is plant competes for sunlight and also plant competes for nutrient. So when plant competes for sunlight, they actually grow higher, taller.
Right.
But for nutrient, if they have to compete, they are actually smaller, shorter.
I see, Mr. Q. All right. And also, you've emphasized that it is a must to water your plants every day, right, Mr. Q?
Yes.
Otherwise, your results won't turn out as you expected.
Yes, because water is more important than anything else.
Yes, that's true. It's also important for us. And also, one more thing, as seeds aren't always good, there's always bad seeds, so you always have to try until your experiment works out, right, Mr. Q?
Yes. There's always hiccups during your experiment, so it's okay. It's not necessary we need to have the best result ever. But so even during failures also you can know why did you fail. It's okay to fail.
All right, there you have it, Mr. Q. Pupils at home, don't go anywhere. We have a lot more to come up right after this. So we'll be right back here on Didik TV KPM. Back here with me, Kak Syafiqah on Didik TV KPM, and we're learning for slot Tahap 2 with Mr. Q for Science DLP. And right now, I see two different flora in front of us here, Mr. Q. I wonder what we're doing in this segment.
Okay, thank you, Syafiqah. In this segment, we are going to talk about symbiosis. All right, so symbiosis is actually the close relationship between two plant species, and there are actually two types of interaction for symbiosis. The first one is called the commensalism, and the next one is called the parasitism. So let us look at what does commensalism means. Okay, so from the slide you can see that commensalism is actually commensalism is an interaction that benefits one organism but does not harm nor benefit the other. So what does it mean here is usually how I teach my student is, so one of them gets the benefit, so thumbs up lah. So one of them gets a benefit and the other one does not get any benefit, but it is not being harmed as well.
Okay.
So this is commensalism. So one gets a benefit and the other one does not get any benefit or being harmed as well.
Right.
Okay. So there are a few what do you call examples to it. For example, the bird nest fern. Okay. So this is a bird nest fern. This is the bird nest fern.
Okay.
And this is for you. What is this?
Orchid, Mr. Q.
Yes, correct. This is an orchid. Okay, so let me explain for bird nest fern first. Okay.
All right.
So the bird nest ferns usually it is situated on top of a taller tree. So it likes the higher places. Why? Because it can get support and also sunlight. Because plants need sunlight to grow, right? So to conduct photosynthesis. So it stays on taller tree, but this plant doesn't affect or try to destroy the host plant because it does not have any stem or roots that penetrate into the tree stem of the host tree.
That means it just sits on the tree.
Yes. So it just sits on top of it. So the benefit is for this bird nest fern, but the host, it doesn't get any benefit from
the fern.
The fern, but it also it is not being harmed as well. So it is called a commensalism interaction.
All right.
Okay, for the orchid, it's also the same as well. So the orchid is usually situated at the trunk of some of the trees. So why does it get attached to this type of trees? It is because to get support and sunlight and also nutrient from the surrounding. So the good thing is it doesn't affect or harm the other trees or the host plant.
Okay.
So this is called the commensalism relationship.
All right, Mr. Q.
Okay, then there is one more relationship which is called the parasitism. Okay, from the definition, parasitism is an interaction that benefits one organism and harms the other. Okay, so so in school I'll do this. This is for one of the organisms benefit from it. It is also called the parasite, and then the other one will be thumbs down. Thumbs down because it's being harmed.
Right.
Okay. So in this interaction, the organism that gains the benefit is called a parasite, while the one is harmed is being called the host. And there are actually 3 examples that I would like to share with you today.
Okay, Mr.
So
Q.
the first one is called the Indian willow. So the Indian willow is actually a plant that it attaches itself to the branch of another tree. And its roots will penetrate through the body of the tree, and sucked out all the nutrients and water from it.
Oh no.
So in the long run, that branch will die. And from the slide also, you'll see another plant which is called the Rafflesia. Do you know that Rafflesia is actually the biggest flower in the world?
Oh yes, it is.
And we have it in Malaysia as well.
Yes.
Okay? But this big flower is unable to undergo photosynthesis. So the only way for it to survive is to attach itself to a host plant. So when it attaches itself to host plant, it will it will absorb all the nutrients and water from the host plant. So eventually the host plant will die, and this Rafflesia flower will survive, will bloom, red in color.
Okay.
And actually there's one more example that is something extra, which is called the Australian Christmas tree. This Australian Christmas tree, where do you think it comes from?
Australia, perhaps?
Oh, you're right. Okay. So Australia, yes. And this tree is actually a parasite tree. Why? Because its roots will make connections with all the grass around it. Because as you can see from the picture, this tree is actually surrounded by a lot of grass, right?
Yes.
So it will absorb this, the roots underneath will absorb all the nutrients and water from all the grasses nearby. And finally, you see only this Australian Christmas tree is blooming, and the others has no flowers on it.
Yes, I agree. Very, very dull for the surrounding trees.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Next, so I would like to students to do a bit of quiz.
Okay.
So since they already learned about this commensalism and parasitism. So, students, pupils, I would like you to write down the answer for A. Who wants to try for A? Put up your hand. Okay, Akif Anaki. For the first, for this quiz, what do you think is the answer for A?
The answer is parasitism.
Parasitism. So parasitism benefits one organism but harm the others. Very good. Can someone give me an example about for parasitism? Put up your hand. Okay, Zarik Zakwan.
The example is Rafflesia.
Rafflesia. Very good. Thank you, Zarik. Okay, next we have B. So I want you to answer. What's the answer for B? Who wants to answer it?
Answer? Raise your hand.
Okay. Adam.
My answer is commensalism.
Okay, commensalism is correct because it benefits one organism, but it doesn't harm or benefit the other organisms. So can someone let me know what is the example for commensalism? Put up your hand.
Okay.
We have Alisa. Alisa, can you let us know?
The answer is orchids.
Orchid, yes. Let us check the answer now. Okay, looks like they have gotten all the answers correct.
Wow, good job, pupils.
So I think they deserve, all of them deserve 4 stars.
4 stars for today. All right, congratulations.
Okay, so let me summarize what we have learned today.
Okay, Mr.
So
Kim.
the first thing we learned about today is interaction among plants is about, we have 2 interaction among plants. We talked about symbiosis, right? So there's 2 interactions, there are 2 forms of symbiosis, which is the commensalism and the parasitism. So commensalism benefit one, but it doesn't benefit the other or harm the other organism.
Right.
Whereas parasitism, it will benefit only one of it because the others, the host plant will die. So this is for interaction among plants.
All right, and there you have it. Perhaps, Mr. Q, as we end today's lesson, you could give an overall marks for our pupils online today.
I think they have done a great job actually. So I'll give them I think they deserve at least 4 stars to 5 stars.
At
5 stars,
least
I think.
5 stars. Wow, Mr. Q has rounded it up to 5 stars. Congratulations, everyone. A little bit of a clap for yourself. All right, great. Perhaps for people at home that are watching today, where can they get extra materials for, for some revision to do at home?
Yes, they can get it from Sumberku. They can get it from Sumberku, yeah.
Okay, as shown on the link on our screen right now, right, peoples? Okay, Mr. Q, I think we've reached the end of our lesson today. Thank you for being with us here in our studio, for teaching us Science DLP Year 6, and also not to forget teacher Zaharatul Azma from SK Taman Bunga Raya 1 Rawan Selangor for being our sign language interpreter. Thank you everyone for watching today's lesson. Until we meet again, Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera, bye-bye.
Wait, Shafiqah,
What?
do you want to play another game?
Oh, yes, I would love to.
Okay, so this one I would like you to arrange the letters.
Okay, all right, let's go.